Thank you very much, Sandra, for your inspiring words. That will be hard to follow, but so it's now my pleasure to ask the student council members to give their address. Loïc and Jeffrey, can I please ask you to come forward and give your address?
Guys, before starting the speech, I would like to point out, I'm sitting here, the time flies, this day goes way too quick. Look around, let's enjoy every minute of this day. Well, having said that, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, deans, honored guest speaker, staff and faculty, family and friends, alumni, and most of all, the highly energetic, charismatic, ambitiously driven MIM class of 2021. What a year. At a time when the majority of the world couldn't leave their countries, let alone their homes, we were fortunate to spend the past year across the globe, studying from Fonti to Singapore, mostly in person. When people ask us about attending INSEAD during COVID times, they usually assume that we didn't gain the full INSEAD experience. I'd argue that we're still able to weather the storm, and therefore even become a closer community. If anything, our journey together humbled us over time and taught us valuable lessons about personality, responsibility, and ownership. So, as our academic director stated before, the idea behind the MIM was to take a group of talented and driven people across the globe, hand them a thermometer, and let them better understand what the most urgent problems are in the world. Then, after a year, take the skill set and knowledge gained at INSEAD and go back into the world to confront these complex problems. It's been almost half a year since we made the transition from students to alumni. After taking our first steps into the real world, we started to realize and experience what the shift was in the mindset. At INSEAD, life is about prioritizing. On the one hand, students have the natural attitude of organizing lots of events, and on the other hand, the same students want to join all the events. Transitioning this to our working life, there is nothing more important than prioritizing, as Sandra also mentioned. We better understand what's important for both our personal and professional development. We understand that sometimes you have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. And most of all, we understand how to enjoy life. One can throw all kinds of obstacles at us, making it difficult. Name it COVID, name it annoying deadlines. INSEAD students know how to make the best out of it. But before getting all emotional and stating how INSEAD changed their lives and how we got impacted by the beautiful time, I want to introduce my dear friend standing next to me, as we call him Jeff. A classic American who would never stop talking about his blogs and his startups. And I must admit, while writing this speech, it came in quite handy.
Thank you, Loïc, for the introduction. To this day, I, as well as everyone else here, still don't know how to pronounce your last name. Also, just to clarify for those who are new here, Loïc isn't French nor Thibaut's son. Yes, our program director named his child after him, and yes, Loïc cried when he heard the news. To the first cohort of MIM students, we finally made it. It's been over a year since we all met together under one roof, and it's been great to see everyone again today. Although we had a virtual ceremony, after concluding P5. There was a lack of closure as our program came abruptly to an end and the next phase of our life suddenly began. We could not have imagined a more suitable ending to a year that has been filled with uncertainty, disruption, and most importantly, resilience. From transitioning from in-person teaching to courses over Zoom, to sending out applications one after another, to making sure every day we weren't COVID-19 contact cases, we were always moving on to the next one. It was second nature for us to push forward. And let's be honest, guys, we are lucky to have the opportunity to celebrate our graduation at the place where it all began. While we're all here to celebrate our accomplishments as students, this occasion carries more weight, and it marks an even bigger milestone for us as a community. We've all come full circle since we first stepped foot on campus back in August of 2020. Accepting our offers at INSEAD meant that we were signing up to become part of something bigger. And there are a lot of expectations that come with being pioneers. For example, we had to build credibility in the eyes of the professors, faculty, and alumni who took a leap of faith on us. There were uncertainties on what post-grad opportunities could look like due to the pandemic, and being the newcomers we were didn't make it easier. Nevertheless, we responded by under-promising and over-delivering through our actions and setting that bar high for ourselves and for future batches. To name a few, everyone here is employed, working from employers from Fortune 500 companies, top-tier management consulting firms, venture-backed startups, emerging VCs, private equity firms, and boutique investment banks. In terms of donor participation rate, we're the top 2 donors for INSEAD's annual Robin Hood campaign, a need-based scholarship program. Humble brag, we outperformed MBAs in previous classes. I'm always amazed by our ability to exceed expectations. And if there's anything I've learned, it's that there's nothing more powerful than the power of this community.
Give credit where credit is due. We trusted INSEAD in providing a top-notch program and facilitating an environment in which students could leverage the cross-pollination of both a close, vibrant student community and one of the most established knowledge institutes in the world. And boy, did they deliver. Looking back at this, it even sounds odd. A highly reputable business school launches a program and empowers their first batch of students to decide what the MIM really means. For example, we could easily walk into our office, into the office of our academic director to discuss our concerns considering any classes. Or we were having dinner with professors to get to know them on a personal level. All in all, we were being empowered in launching initiatives, shaping the program, and even becoming gatekeepers of the culture of the Master in Management at INSEAD. Yeah, it does sound odd if you think about it. Therefore, there are a few people that we, on behalf of the MIM'21 class, want to mention. First, Dean Urspayer, the person who created the program in the first place. Even during the program, he still supported us and checked in on us from time to time. Urs, could you please stand up so we could give you a well-deserved round of applause? Thank you. Next up is Thibaut Siguret, our academic director, the one and only, the living legend. Without you, the MIM would not have been what it is today. With pure dedication, resilience, and love, you facilitated the brilliant program. Thibaut, could you please stand up so we could give you a well-deserved round of applause? Next up is Agatha, assistant of the academic director, but in our minds, way more than that. She was the mother of the MIM students, always there for us, and welcoming us on campus with a smile for yet another day of classes or applications. So Agatha, could you please stand up so we could give you a well-deserved round of applause? Yes, we have a few more to go. Then I want to thank Angel, CDC, the marketing department, and all other departments within INSEAD that supported us wherever possible. We are very grateful for the unconditional support throughout the year. Last but not least, all our families. Even though distance kept us apart, you are always there to support us, sometimes financially, but always there. For that, we are forever grateful, so also for you, a round of applause.
When we speak about this class and what it means for INSEAD, I believe it's important to put it into context with the school's history. Within our class alone, we embody around 40 nationalities across 5 continents, coming from previous degrees and work experiences. Furthermore, we're all very different in our socioeconomic backgrounds and beliefs. It's easy to be reminded of our differences today, given the current state of geopolitics. But if there's anything that we share, it's our ability to build empathy and persevere. We don't fear the unknown. Instead, we embrace it. We don't accept complacency either. Instead, we challenge it. By breaking down walls in our breakout rooms, literally, we were breaking down barriers between one another, allowing ourselves to listen actively, think critically, and build solutions inclusively. These principles have always been embedded into the DNA of INSEAD. The founder of INSEAD, George Doriot, once stated that without action, the world would still be an idea. After experiencing the atrocities of World War II, he conceptualized a business school premised on globalism, independence, and entrepreneurialism. Bringing nationalities together across the borders was a daring endeavor, yet more needed to be done to support the next generation of global leaders during post-war. With the launch of INSEAD's first program, he put that idea into practice. That was in 1959. While the world has changed a lot over the last 60 years, many of these issues faced back then resonate with what we see today. Hence, the need to support the next generation of leaders is ever more urgent. As we write the pages of our own history books, I don't doubt that this class will progress to complete great feats and become a part of that change. It's rare to come across people who are level-headed, have hearts like lions, and have the desire to hustle. Yet this class has it all. I want to close the speech with a quote remarked by Claude Jensen, one of the founding fathers of INSEAD, who passed away last year. When the first batch of INSEAD classes took place in 1959, Jansen proudly declared that the ship is launched, 57 registered today, opening ceremonies completed, all engines turning. We as MIMs are blessed to continue this tradition as pioneers and say back to the founding fathers, this ship has launched, 93 MIM students graduated today, first closing ceremony completed, all engines turning.